Hello, everybody.
We're back. Oh, you tootsies.
I'm
Ooh.
towing Dom today.
Are they cold?
Yes.
I can't feel them. We've got joggers on.
See, that's why I stick them in there.
How we all doing today? So,
Been better, mate.
been better. We're still alive, guys. We're still alive. We're still alive and kicking, and things are all well hotel. So, on the topic of obviously countries, as our last episode was on obviously Dubai, I think we should talk about moving countries. I think it's
Everybody moved to Dubai.
Everybody, yalla, Habibi, come to Dubai.
No, actually, don't traffic too much.
Yeah, there's already too many people here. Because, you know, me and yourself, we've moved, whatever, and I feel like a lot of people aspire to do things like that, but are too scared and probably have so many questions, like how do you do it and what's kind of the best step to go. I've had people message me in the past as well.
Yeah.
The people that come to Dubai and actually move message me prior like, oh, what's the best thing to do? And I don't just want to talk about moving to Dubai, just countries
just
in
in
general.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think with, like, don't get me wrong, I know some people are like super confident and like super happy to stay where they are, and like they just see their hometown or their home country as the country they're gonna stay in. I knew from a young age that was never gonna be me. Like, I just had an itch and I knew I wanted to move away, but I would definitely say it took me longer than I probably should have from that like fear of, oh, what's not gonna work out, or like, where do you go, what do you do? So yeah, I think it's a good one to discuss.
I think being younger is probably easier. I feel like we have less fear, we have less commitments as we're younger, right? So it's a lot easier to do when you don't have a full family to move. Don't get me wrong, it's still doable because my friends have moved here with full families, but it is definitely a thing that I would recommend doing whilst you are young if you want to trial it out, because what's the worst that can happen? You go back home and you've got your mum and dad that you can kind of fall back on, right?
That's exactly it. And like, even from that concept, like you said, it's a lot harder when there is family involved, or like partners involved, because I feel like in maybe a lot of relationships it's hard to distinguish, like one person might want to move more than the other, do you know what I mean? So it can be quite difficult in that situation. And obviously if there's kids involved, if there's houses involved, anything like that, it's a lot more of a financial situation too, which,
and go on, sorry.
What I was gonna say is, like, when you're moving, it's a lot when you're actually proper moving to a different country, it's obviously going to be expensive. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty as well, because like, if you move somewhere and you decide you don't like it there, the expenses of moving back and everything, like, and especially with kids, like, you're putting them in and out of different schools.
Well,
and
that's
whatnot.
what I was going to say.
Like, it is a lot to consider. So I do agree with you on the concept that do it whilst you're younger, like when you're single, do you know what I mean? When you don't have any other commitments or any other opinions to come, like, and consider, it's so much easier. Because a lot of people, like, for example, for me, I was in a relationship. In that relationship, I knew that, like, I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want to live there. My ex probably would have never moved at that time. Do you know what I mean? Maybe circumstances are different now, but at that time, he wouldn't have moved. So I stayed. And I don't agree with that. Like, now I would tell them to fucking leave the partner before anything else.
100%. You sacrifice your happiness and what you want to do for somebody else. And I did that as well. Like, you know, I met my ex here and then he had to go back. And I was like, you know what, I'll just move back with him. And it lasted about 10 days. And then we were out of the country again. But like, I would never sacrifice that for someone again unless I really wanted to. Because at the end of the day, where you live is a huge part of you and what makes you happy every single day, right?
100%.
Now, when you've got a family and you make this decision to move, yes, it's expensive, but it's also very scary because you have to meet new people, which I feel like when you're single, it's a lot easier to meet new people, meet new families and whatnot and set up. And, you know, I know one of my friends has moved here and they love it. But I had one of my clients and I think she's got 3 kids and they moved to Australia from the UK, which is obviously far and it's long, and they sold their house as well. Like, they were going permanently 6 months and she hated it. Like, she was a nurse then. She said they were just so racist and horrible and she hated it. And after a year they came back and they just had to buy another house and whatnot.
Start over.
Yeah. And I think like that's a very extreme thing to do, to sell your house and everything. I think if you can, rent your property out so you can always fall back on it.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, even for me before moving here, like, yes, I knew I wanted to move here, but Like, and we're in a different situation to most people as well, because
Yeah.
we have the flight. Like, I can get up and go on a flight tomorrow. My work doesn't get intervened with.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, everything stays the same in terms of my routine. I'm just in a different location. I understand a lot of people don't have those privileges. So like what I did was, like, that time we came out in for a few months before actually moving. And you know what? Like, for me, that was like the best thing ever, because you were here for a couple of weeks, but I spent like 5 weeks completely on my own,
Yeah.
on prep. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't able to distract myself either from that perspective. Like, with, say, I don't know, going out all the time and living that holiday lifestyle, I actually had to live here and live
Yeah.
a proper routine. And that was what, like, sort of gave me the confidence, like, no, I actually see myself living here, because if I could do it when I couldn't do anything and felt comfortable and didn't feel like overwhelmed or lonely or anything like that, then fine. But
Yeah, I think there's a big thing that people need to consider though when they move, because I feel like people go on holiday somewhere and like, oh my god, I could live here. It's amazing.
a holiday is not
It's
real life.
so different. Like, you need to spend time here doing normal, boring stuff as well, and like your day-to-day life. Like, obviously, I came to Dubai years and years ago, like pre-COVID. I was here for 4 weeks and I loved it, but I was obviously not working. I was just living a normal life, and then I came again here for another 2 weeks right before I moved, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Right.
Yeah.
So people might go on holiday and think this is the best thing ever. But I think, you know, it's really important to spend that time in that country, not doing holiday like things
100%.
and actually having a routine. And if you don't have a job that you can travel with, well, how do you pick a country? Well, first of all, is there a job in that country for you? Or if you're like, a lot of people move here because they get moved with work, right?
Yeah,
As well,
opportunities,
which that's all well and good. But I think it's really important to go trial the place out first.
100%. Like, and what I would say about that as well is, like, try multiple places.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, where do you actually feel comfortable? Because, like, the thing is, like, your body will tell you in terms of, like, do you see yourself living there or not? Because I always thought, like, I went to Bali and I was like, I'm definitely going to come back here and I'm just going to live here. And then a part of me was like, I don't actually see a life there for myself.
Yeah.
Like, because it was like a holiday experience for me.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, I was still working, I was still doing all the touristy things, I was still doing all the activities. I'm like, am I actually okay moving there, not knowing anybody and feeling at peace? No, like, I didn't feel that.
I get that, but from what you said with does your body enjoy it, like, I didn't physically feel good in Bali. Like, I've been a number of times and I've always felt horrible, like, in terms of like my bloating, my sleep, and I just can't get into
I
a routine
think Bali's
there.
just hard to live in as
Yeah,
a
it's
country.
not
It's a
easy,
third
yeah.
world country,
For-
right?
yeah.
Even though, like, yes, it's so much more westernized now and stuff like that, like, it still is a lot. And, like, even with that, like, it made more sense. Like, we done a food shop once and barely bought anything. It cost us like 120 quid. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was
And
a
Bali's
joke.
cheap in
Yeah.
general. Like, it was cheaper for us to eat out all the time than to actually, like, make meals at home. And, like, even the amenities and stuff like that, like, it's just not built for that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I know for myself, like, as much as I love eating out, yeah, when you're like,
Doing
just
it
give me
every meal,
my
every
bowl of oats, like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
every single meal,
It's a
every
lot.
single day, it is a lot. You don't feel good from it at all. But yeah, I think like the destination is very important, and going out to scope it,
Yeah.
right? Seeing what's there. Like, can you physically, do you enjoy the culture? Do you like the people there? Like, that is a huge part of it. And a lot of people, I know so many people that move here and they've never been before.
Yeah.
And it's like, Dubai's like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. And I think people hate it because they don't see the right side of it.
100%. I feel like here is a weird place
Yeah.
in that sense, because there's two sides of Dubai from the perspective of, like, what you see as brunches, like, going out,
Yeah.
partying, like, living that holiday lifestyle, which a lot of people think we live.
We
We really
don't.
fucking don't.
It's
we
the
really-
weekend and we've done nothing.
Yeah, like, we really, really don't. And well, for different reasons this weekend. But and then there's also, like, a really nice and wholesome side of Dubai.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really beautiful place to live in. And, like, in terms of meeting people here, again, we're referring back to Dubai, but it is so easy to meet people here. But I think the reason for that is because there's so many expats.
Yeah.
So everybody's in the same situation. So everybody's quite open to it. But one thing I would say, like, even if it's not Dubai, if, I don't know, Spain, Portugal, whatever, another, like, thing I would mention is go on your own. Don't go with
Yeah.
your mates. Don't go with your friends. Don't treat it like as a, like, even to say if you and your friend are looking to move together, fine, because you'll both have the same mentality, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people will be like, oh, maybe I want to move here, and then they'll fly out with their friend, have a great time, go and enjoy it, treat it like a holiday, and then they realize when they go on their own that they're completely lost.
Lonely, but it's because you're not making connections, right? So if you are new to somewhere, and I see this getting posted all the time in Dubai groups as well, but this applies to everywhere. If you are new to a place, you cannot expect to sit at home and find friends.
Yeah.
You need to go out there. You need to put yourself out there. Go to Pilates, go to yoga, go to run clubs, go sit in a cafe and just start a conversation with a random person next to you. That's okay.
That's the thing. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Because like even here, so many people are like, "Oh, Dubai's so lonely."
It's
and
not.
Yeah, it can be a lonely place to be. I get that because it's so, like, Dubai's so small but so big at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like with our friends, we are fucking 45 minutes away from everybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I do understand it from that perspective, but it's down to you to make that effort to actually make connections. Like you said, if you're just sitting at home and you're not actually doing anything to put yourself into a position to meet people, you never will. And like so many people move here and they're like, it's such a lonely place to be, like you always feel so isolated. But that's on you. That's the experience you have because of the experiences that you chose to not participate in.
Yeah.
So, or like a lot of people will come here and just like they'll meet somebody that's maybe in their party side of Dubai, and that's all they'll do is just constantly go out and go out. That's going to make you feel more lonely than anything, because
You need to find people in the things that you enjoy doing, right?
yeah, and that you are able to actually trust, and you know, have somebody come and sit on your sofa on a fucking Friday night and have a conversation rather than constantly going out, because it's just a form of distraction.
100% is, but definitely what you said there, like going on your own, and is super, super important. Because the more I am on my own, the more I used to meet people, right, when I first came here.
Because you make a more conscious effort of it,
Yeah.
right? And like I always said with you, like that event I went to back in November, I was fucking shitting myself for it. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure I asked Dawn to come like 10 times. And she kept saying no. Yeah, she kept saying no. But like a part of me, don't take this in the wrong way, was glad you didn't come at the same time.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you were there, I would have been stuck to your side.
Yeah.
And naturally so, do you know what I mean? Because you're the person I know there. But because you weren't there, I was forced to go and talk to people.
Yeah.
Nearly shit myself, like, but now I'm not scared of them.
I like meeting new people though. Like I will make a conversation with a random stranger. Like that doesn't bother me. Like I feel like I like to find out more things about people, and like who the person, like on the plane for example, who's this random stranger sat next to me.
Yeah, see, I'm weird with stuff like that, because if it was like a girl my age or something, no way. 70-year-old man going to visit his family in Australia.
Tell me
How
about
many
it.
kids do you have? How many kids do they have? What are you going to do when you're there?
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Oh, crazy, isn't it? Crazy. But it's connections, and it's being open-minded to these sorts of things, and you need to be an open-minded person, and it's not for everybody.
And as well as that, just because you meet people and you don't click with certain people, it doesn't mean that you won't. Do you know what I mean?
That place is not for you.
Or not for you, exactly. Like there is going to be people you meet and you might think they're the nicest person in the world, and they just don't align with you or your values, your standards, whatever the case is. You keep finding your people. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not like, or it's like people using like a country as a whole, like, oh, everybody's dicks there. No, the people you surrounded yourself with is dicks.
But
you know?
that's like anywhere, like back home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's who you are around most of your time.
Like my mates back home are deadly crack. I love them.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But then there's also people back home that are, you're like,
Dickheads.
never.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what even are they? Exactly. So it's really
What are
important. What are they? And if you've been thinking about traveling or like moving abroad and you don't know where to go, which I think that like surely you've always got somewhere you want to visit in the world.
But that's it, right? I think for anybody that has that itch will have like an idea of where they want to try or whatever. For somebody that doesn't, you're fine. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to be somebody that ends up moving away. But
you normally know where you want to go,
Yeah.
like kind of the place that maybe you've been on holiday and you're like, oh yeah, I could try all this out. So just do it. Just go for it. Save your money. And if you can't, not save your money, but if you can't get time off work, for example, then you need to make a really tough decision of whether you're going to just leave your job.
And that's the hard part, right? Is because a lot of people will we as humans just like to get settled into a situation.
Security.
Yeah, security, 100%. Security and stability. So like if you have a decent job, even if maybe you don't love the job, it's more comfortable to stay in that job than to go and start over, right? Or go into a different field. And like I totally understand that, but we have one life, mate.
Just go do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Worst thing, it doesn't work out. Go back.
people say this to me quite a lot because obviously I just don't care. I'm a ballsy person, right? I'll do whatever. And people are like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, I genuinely don't know. I'm a risk taker. Like I genuinely like to take risks in everything that I do. It's just sort of person as I am. But what I am going to say is the older that you get and the more you put it off, the more you're going to start thinking about it. Just act on impulse.
Yeah.
And I know people will say don't do that. But
Yeah, I
for me,
agree. Don't do that.
Act on impulse. No, do it, because if you overthink and you get in your head, oh my God, what if this doesn't work out? What if this happens?
Yeah.
And you just get in your own head, just do it and book a flight home.
Yeah, but that's it, right? If you have the means to do it, 100% I agree with that.
Yeah.
But like for a lot of people, it's not as simple, which I understand as
Yeah,
well from that perspective. So it's like, I would say don't wait till you're ready or you feel ready, because you never will. It's like with anything in life, you know, you're going to lose weight when you're not going to lose it, because until you get to a point you're so uncomfortable, that's when you're going to push it. And it's like for me, like the time I got my flight out was when I felt so uncomfortable being in the situation I was in and so unsafe that I was like, fuck this shit. Like then I acted on impulse. Do you know what I mean? But I agree with the concept of like, don't keep putting it off, because the older you get, one, the more responsibility you have, the more serious lives getting in general. You don't know, you could be fucking get pregnant tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? That's going to throw a spanner in the works altogether.
The older we are, the more we think logistically, right? And it's like, even I always compare this to going on rides. Right, when I was younger, I used to go to Alton Towers all the time. All the scary rides, I used to love it. But every single year I'd go, I'd be more scared.
Mindful of it, yeah.
And because I knew what could potentially happen, what the risks were, right? Whereas when we're younger, we don't really think about it. Do it before you're 25, before your prefrontal cortex is developed.
There you go.
But now, you obviously moved when you was working online. I've just had to rewind there. I didn't.
Yeah.
I had a full-time job, nursing job. Like I didn't have that. I literally quit from one day to the next, and I was like, I've got money in the bank, savings, I'm off.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? And it's like looking at it from the perspective of like, this is my opportunity to start over. Like your job, especially if you're in a job that you don't absolutely love, like you're not stuck. And like that's one thing that I really took away like a couple of years ago, is like I felt so stuck, and then one day it just clicked with me. I'm like, I'm not fucking stuck in anything. I'm not stuck in this country. I'm not stuck in something I don't want to be in. Do you know what I mean? I'm not stuck, but it's down to you to actually take the plunge to do that.
Yeah, it's your own internal thoughts, right? The only time you are stuck somewhere if there are bombs going off outside and
we actually can't
and
come in or out right now.
Yeah, and you can't fly. Like there's nothing keeping you anywhere. Your job, you can get another one. Your family are always going to be there. Your friends are always going to be there. Because friends is a big thing why people don't move.
Yeah.
Because people get so attached to the friends. But if you always feel that way, you are never going to fulfill what you actually want to do in life, because you're looking at others. Like you need to prioritize yourself.
But that's it. Like I remember seeing a quote, and now I'm gonna absolutely
Butcher
rinse it here, yeah, because I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was along the lines of like, you staying somewhere that like doesn't bring you happiness to keep because you want to be close to your family, to your friends, you're prioritizing their happiness over your own.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be unhappy in a situation just to make other people happy, but like at the end of the day, you need to put yourself first. This is the thing, your friends that are your actual friends will support your decision.
100%.
They'll fucking love it for you. They'll be excited for you. They'll check in with you. Another thing, you'll move and you'll realize half of your friends aren't your fucking friends as well.
There'll be the jealous bitchy ones who are just envy your life.
Make
and
little comments or
because they're just jealous.
Yeah, don't reach out or whatever. That's a blessing. Like even though it might not feel like it at the time, it is a blessing for you. Your family, yes, they're going to miss you and you're going to miss them, but if your family want you to be happy, they're going to push you to do those opportunities.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think it's easier for me and you to move countries because we're foreigners anyway, and we got moved when we were kids? We initially had that first move. Well, that wasn't in our control. We just got obviously dragged away and moved from a country to country, new people, new faces. Do you feel that subconsciously has helped us move?
110%. Absolutely. I really, really do. And I actually had a conversation with someone about this last weekend. And it does definitely come down to that because, like, for a lot of people, say if we grew up in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Their whole family's there.
Yeah.
Their whole family, all their friends, obviously, they grew up in that environment. They have a lot more to leave
Yeah.
than we do. Do you know what I mean? But we left our whole families at an age that we couldn't probably
We didn't really have the control.
understand
Yeah.
what was going on as well. And like, I'm not used to seeing my granny every weekend. I see my granny once a year if I'm lucky,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's normalized for me,
Yeah.
which is not a good thing either. Of course, I'd love to see them more, but I never like miss that part of my life because it's not something I'm used to growing up.
I agree.
So yeah, I do. I 100% think that's what made it
was
easier.
definitely harder for our parents to have to do that.
Yeah,
But as a parent myself, I would do that as well.
yeah,
Like, yes, obviously I live here now. I don't know where I'm going to live when I have kids, but I'm not going back to the UK just to have my kids around my family.
No.
And people are going to think that's selfish and, you know, your kids need to be around the grandparents. I wasn't, and I've turned out absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, again, you need to do what's best for your kids, and your family are always going to fly over.
but that's it. Like, everything's just a flight away. Do you know what I mean? And yes, obviously, they're probably gonna feel like they're missing out more and stuff like that. But it's your life at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and it's what you want best, right? Why did our parents take us away from our families in Lithuania? Because they wanted to raise us in better
Yeah,
conditions,
exactly.
to be happier,
Yeah.
to have a better lifestyle. We could have grew up in Lithuania and Poland in obviously not the best condition, not that it's bad conditions there, but we have a lot more opportunities in the UK,
more
right?
opportunity, and even more opportunities here for us
Exactly.
now, right?
So like, I think that's why, like, my parents, don't get me wrong, like, whenever I told them I'm moving, there was a lot of like back and forth, like, is this a good idea, blah blah blah, which I understand is coming from a place of worry, but my parents never stopped me.
Yeah.
And I think they're a lot more open-minded for that reason, because they understand why they moved, and circumstances are so different. Like, my parents moved because they essentially had to,
Yeah.
right? Not being forced, but they wanted to have a better life.
Yeah.
They wanted to get more from life than we were going to get back in Lithuania. So they understand what I'm chasing now as well.
Yeah, 100%. I, you know what? I don't even remember telling my parents, like, that part of my life is such a blur. All I remember is my mum saying, "Are you sure you've got such a stable job? Like, what's going to happen to your career? Blah blah." But I don't remember them, how I told them or when I told them. I don't remember any of that, which is
I
crazy.
think my parents just knew it was coming. I don't think I had to sit down and have the conversation.
Yeah.
I think they figured it out when I would come home for a month and disappear again somewhere.
Yeah, I think I came obviously here over Christmas. Me and Alex had met an event a few months before Christmas, and we were both talking about it. And then she moved, and she was like, come out for a couple of weeks. I came out for a couple of weeks, and then I texted my mum and dad, "I'm coming home, selling my shit, and I'm going back." And I literally went back a week later. Like, they were like, "What? What's going on?"
What's
It's just the norm now. Like,
But you know what? Like, one thing I will say is, like, moving away, I think, has made me build a better relationship with my parents than I would have had if I stayed home. And like, everyone thinks that's so backwards, but like, when, like, I love my parents to bits, but living with them is always going to be a lot, especially as I'm gaining my independence as well. Do you know what I mean? And like, I would have argued with them more, or like, I would have been holding grudges against them more
Yeah.
if I didn't like something. Whereas now, like, I have attachment issues with my parents. We all already know this, but like, I look forward to ringing them every day. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like, we argue fucking once a month now over something stupid, but like, it's always like, at the end of the night, I'll always text them good night, because that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
life
yeah.
is at the minute.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's helped me build a better relationship with them and sort of give us, and I know they love it too. As much as they say they want me home and they'd rather me, they fucking love it. They love their independence. They're going to fucking cinema every Saturday. They never took me to the cinema
yeah.
in my life. I don't think I've ever been to the
and
cinema
it's
with
just
them.
nice when you go back, you have that better bond and spending quality time with them. But I moved out when I was 21, out of my mum's and dad's house.
Yeah.
And it was a big old argument, that, because Dom is such a fucking brat. Honestly, thinking back, I'm like, you're a dickhead. So mum and dad was like, right, you need to start paying rent. I was like, I'm not paying rent in my own house. Like,
I would have slapped you if I was your mom.
I'm like, but I would never make my kids pay rent either. Like, if you're at home, you're at home. But when it comes to the age of 21, go out. You're not living
Yeah,
at my house
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
You're an adult. Like, why are you living at home? So I was like, I'm not paying rent. I was like, I'd rather go live somewhere else and pay rent. Well, so I did. Right? My mum and dad didn't ask for much, maybe like 300 quid. I'd just started my nursing job. And I think because I just got like, what did we just get paid? £1,500 a month? I was
Yeah.
like, oh
That's
my
actually
God.
a lot. Fucking hell.
1,500 quid. That's not a lot
Like,
of
my
money.
friends are earning like fucking 1,200.
but I'm also working night shifts, day shifts, weekends, 12 hours. Like it's a very small
Don't
wage.
get me wrong, it's not a lot in that in the bigger concept of things. That's
little
our
money.
fucking rent, not even. Do you know what I mean?
But you're comparing £1,500, right, for somebody that's taking care of somebody's life to...
Okay, that was very overly dramatic, but okay.
No, but it is. Like, we are obviously in control
Oh
of
no,
the
nurses
kids'
are
lives.
underpaid.
Yeah,
100, I
100%.
don't agree, or sorry,
Anyway,
I don't disagree with
at
that.
the time, I was 21. That was a lot of money to me. I was like,
Yeah.
my first ever wage. I spent it on getting my Invisalign. I was buzzing, and I was like, I don't want to give this money away to my mum and dad. I was like, I've only just got this. I don't want to give anything away.
It's mine.
And then this massive row came of it. We didn't speak for days on end, and then I moved in with my friend. She bought a house and I was just paying off her mortgage, which was like £300 a month, and she would pay the bills. So I would rather pay £300 a month and have my own space and my own house than live in a house with my sister, my mum, my dad, 4 of us in the one place, right? It was a no-brainer for me. So that pushed me to move. And I would still see I lived like 15 minutes away from my family, so I would still drive and see them.
No, 100%. Think like, you have to move out of your parents' house if you're still like 25 living with your fucking mum and dad. Like, we need to gain some independence there.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I couldn't imagine going back and I keep thinking about this, but going back for a year just to save some money, but I couldn't do it. I love my own space.
But you know what, like with that, like I very much so understand, because saving money here is fucking hard, right? Compared to the UK, it's a lot easier there. But the way I look at it is like, I would rather genuinely be broke and live the life that I live here than go back there, because I'll save money, but I'll also feel miserable.
100%.
I'll not be excited about anything. I'll feel stuck, and that's not to say, like, I'm not even shitting on the UK or anything like that. That's how I personally feel. It's just not my environment, and I've known that from I was fucking 10. Do you know what I mean? Like, from that perspective, and like, you're gonna save the money to do what? You're gonna move away anyway and spend the money, right?
Yeah, no.
So,
and you're probably not going to work as hard, and it's just a lot.
But there's no pressure there. That's one thing. There's no pressure. There's no urgency. So like, if you made £1,500 at home, you'd be sweet.
No.
You'd probably still put about fucking 500-600 into savings every month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here, it's not looking good,
It's
bruv.
not that
Yeah,
way.
I will be getting a flight home, and can my dad pay
we
for
are
it?
not putting you off moving countries or moving to Dubai. Just my biggest thing is make sure you have savings, because for the first 3 months here, I didn't have a job, and I took for granted I partied a lot, so I blew a lot of money. But I needed those savings to keep me going until I had a stable job and started making something of myself.
Have like a backup essentially, or have something in your back pocket. Don't be stupid and like you're fucking running on empty and you're gonna move across the world. Like, it's never gonna work like that. Like, even the move here alone cost me $3,000 just to get my ass over here. Do you know what I mean?
It's expensive.
Yeah, so do your research from that perspective, but if you don't try it, you will look back further in life and regret it. Like, let's say I absolutely end up hating it here and I move back to Ireland or whatever, and I feel fine. Okay, I will never look back on these years and be like, can't believe I went to Dubai and wasted all that time. No, like,
it's a great
it's going to be such a
experience.
nice like memory to have, even if I choose to go back to where I was.
100%. Like, no, I'm super, super happy. Like, at the end of the day, I've moved here. I've been here a long time. I've met a lot of different people, and I've done different things that I would have probably never.
We've
have
built
done.
a life here now, right? Like, this feels more like, what the fuck is that
What?
on my finger?
Looks like pen. Have you been writing? Did you write this morning your gratitude?
No, I didn't do my gratitude this morning.
I did. I was. What do you know? I was grateful for.
For
I was
surviving.
Our ADHD brain. I swear to God. I was grateful for my beds. I was grateful to be alive, and I was grateful that there's sun outside and not loads of fires.
I didn't do my gratitude today. Sorry. Anyway, what was I talking about?
We was talking about. I was going to say about how everything aligns as well. So, like, take that leap. Go into that country might completely change your life path.
Yeah.
A new job, you might meet your husband or your wife, like whatever, like so many things can happen. I moved here and I met my ex here, right? And then meeting my ex meant that I met you because we went with the same company. Do you know what I mean? Like little things like that when you actually track things back. Like, we would never be here doing this podcast if I didn't move to Dubai and I didn't meet my ex.
100%.
We wouldn't be here.
Yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't have met you if I didn't leave my ex.
There you go.
You know, basically, fuck your boyfriends, leave them and find your bestie.
Yeah. Do you know
But
what I mean?
my 3 a.m. thought for you is, do you see like Dubai as a long-term home for you?
No.
Okay. What do you see as a long-term home
No
for you?
idea. Still no idea.
Great.
It's
It's looking good, bro. Good advice.
I don't see myself living here in 20 years' time.
Okay.
I don't. just because it is such a simulation, and you know, like Dubai's growing at a very fast pace. Like I would much rather be in Europe, like in Spain, by the sea, by the ocean, by nature. I love Dubai for what it is right now, and being single, it serves me a purpose of, you know, business. It's very focused and whatever. But I don't think I want to bring up a family here.
Yeah.
Like it is great for that. It's so family friendly, but I want my kids to be in the real world and not be so sheltered and bubbled away.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I've actually had a lot of conversations about this because, like, I'm the same. And I suppose, like, it all comes down because, like, at the minute, again, we're single.
Yeah.
We can literally do whatever the fuck we want. You know what I mean? So I think, like, who you meet is going to have a massive impact. Like you might meet somebody here and actually be like, they might change your perspective on that. Do you know what I
100%.
mean? So, but I agree with you in terms of that. Like, not that I want my kids to struggle, but I want them to have a normal childhood. Now, kids here have an amazing childhood.
Yeah.
They have so many opportunities. From a safety aspect,
Great.
would love my kids to be here
Yeah.
because you send them off and you know they're going to come home safe and happy. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So there's like so many pros and so many cons. I just don't want my kids to grow up thinking that, like, put it this way, if I took my kids on a holiday back to Ireland, they'd be like, what the fuck is this shithole?
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I want them to understand like how I grew up and where we grew up, you know.
They're going to be a bit snobby being here because this is like
Yeah.
one of the best places in the world, and if you live in the
You-
best place in the
once
world,
you come to Dubai, you compare everything else to Dubai, right?
So you go somewhere else, you'll take them on a holiday to Spain, they're going to be like, what's this? Or you take them to Zanzibar, why are we in a wooden
Where's
hut?
the skyline?
Literally, like, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, obviously we spoke about living away from your parents and whatnot. I do want to be a little bit closer. So like being in Europe, like Spain, Portugal, Greece, whatever, you're only 3-4 hours
See,
away.
I don't think Dubai's far. That part doesn't bother me.
How long is it from Ireland?
8 hours.
Yeah,
7-8 hours.
It is. You know what? It's not the time. It's the pricing, right? Your
Yeah.
parents can come see you in Spain every fucking week.
Weekend, yeah.
Yeah,
True.
like every weekend. If I lived in Marbella, for example, my parents could come every weekend. It's so cheap. They could probably only come once or twice a year here.
I do get that. And I agree with you on that side of
But
things.
my
Like,
husband's going to be rich, so he's going to pay for him all, so it doesn't matter.
So, yeah, you can fucking go to New Zealand if you want to.
Exactly.
Do you have a
Anyway.
3 a.m. thought for me?
My 3 a.m. thought for you is, if you weren't to live here, where would you live?
I would say it's probably Spain for me,
Yeah.
not Marbella.
Yeah,
Like Spain, like coastal, busy enough.
Alicante.
Yeah, like something like that. But at the same time, I want it less touristy. It's weird, but I
But
do.
you can go like outside of Alicante, like Marbella's Marbella. But if you go to Estepona,
It's different.
lovely. Yeah,
100%. I definitely think Spain. I always thought Spain when I was
we're
growing
gonna
up.
be neighbours.
No, it doesn't mean I'm going to move there. But if I wasn't,
Oh, I would.
you
I will
ask
move
me
there.
right now, if I
The
wasn't here, where
Spanish
would I
economy
be?
is crashing. It's all a
Okay.
bit too much right now.
It is all a lot. Like, you never know. I could be in fucking Germany.
We always say Germany. We're gonna end up in Germany.
We're manifesting Germany.
Anyway, guys, I hope this was useful. And if you move in, let us know. Let us know your
Ask us any
destinations.
cues that you have.
You need to go clean your fingers. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Love yous.